Israel, and it's the first opportunity I had to be able to share the Drasha today, so I figured hopefully you'll be mochel on the lack of professional quality of the video. We have the incredible privilege, and also I wanted to be able to share some Torah from Eretz Yisrael with all of you. We know that we had the incredible privilege in this week's Parsha to be Parsha Shmini. And in Parsha Shmini, the Torah speaks about the laws of kashrus. And in those laws of kashrus, the Torah tells us that the animal must have split hooves and chew its cud. Mafresh says, Parsa Bisho Sa'as, Shaso Umala Geira. Split hooves chewing its cud. And in the Svarim and Hasidic literature, we understand that there is so much symbolism behind those particular qualities, that they're not just simply identifying marks for kosher animals, but rather, again, they teach us lessons for life. And the Svarim explain, Talmidim Baal Shem Tov explain what's the lesson that one could find in split hooves. And the Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh, and again, many of his disciples echo the same concept, which is, when the hoof is split, the Rebbe says two things which are incredibly profound. Number one, split hoof like this, going almost, it's not just that they're together, they have to be totally split and apart. And the Rebbe says it's an incredible metaphor for our decision-making in life. Many times in life we make decisions and we don't give all that much thought to the decisions we make because we figure they don't have the greatest impact. But the truth is, every decision we make propels us in one direction or another. Every decision we make propels us right or propels us left, propels us north, propels us south, east, west. There's no such thing as a decision that allows us to remain in place. Everything moves us in one direction or another. And the Talmidei Hashem have explained that this is symbolized in the split hoof. The same way that when the hoof is split, one part goes in one direction, one part goes in the other direction. To symbolize for us, think before we act. Think before we make a decision, because every decision has a repercussion. Every decision has a ramification. But the Rebbe says there's an additional idea as well. And the additional idea, quite beautifully, is that when the hoof is split, so there's part of it that's embedded on the ground, but then there's the part in the middle. Sorry, I only have one hand, I'm holding the phone with the other hand. There's the part in the middle that is open. And the Rebbe says that's an incredible metaphor for life as well, which is that a person has to live their life with their feet firmly planted on the ground. But you can't be so firmly planted on the ground that you lose the ability to dream. There has to be a part of you that has your head in the clouds. If your head is all in the clouds, then ultimately you're not rooted in reality, you'll accomplish very little. But if you're only totally rooted on the ground, then by definition you'll lose the capacity to dream. So the split hoof teaches us, have your feet, most of your feet firmly embedded on the ground. You have to be a practical person. How are you going to live? How are you going to be successful? What's your plan? What's your paranoia? So all the practical questions we have to ask ourselves. I have to ask myself that as well. What is the practical plan for life? But there's a part of me that has to be a little bit impractical. There's a part of me that has to remember to dream. There's a part of me that has to remember to have hopes and aspirations. There's a part of me that has to remember that sometimes the impossible is possible. There is that part of me that is not tethered to the earth. There's the part of me that lives in the heavens. So as such, the Rebbes of yesteryear teach us that from this simple halacha of the split hooves, we learn these two dynamic life lessons. Lesson number one, take care in your decision making. Recognize that every decision you make has a repercussion and a ramification. They propel you, your decisions, one way or the other. Choose wisely. Think before you act and make your decisions with a koved rosh, a certain level of seriousness and forethought, recognizing that what you choose ultimately determines where you go, which ultimately determines who you are. And lesson number two, be a practical, pragmatic person with your feet firmly planted on the ground, but at the same time, always have a little piece of you that is not tethered to this earth. Always have a little piece of you that has your head in the clouds. Always have a little piece of you that knows how to dream, knows how to aspire, knows how to look beyond the confines of what is, to imagine the possibilities of what could be. Wishing everyone a good and Erev Shabbos and a beautiful Shabbos Kodesh.